Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you guys for joining me again. My name is Wilky and I'm here with another Shadow Arena video. This is me playing, or trying I guess I should say, playing on the NA server during the early access test they did. This was not an official test really, it was just sort of that the game was live on the NA servers, where they did have the NA servers live. So people who did not lose access could play. I tried my luck, and yeah, this is going to be post-commentary again. The first few things you're going to be seeing here is me playing, or trying, I guess, really hard to play Badal on the NA server, and let me just tell you that it did not work out very well. As you can see here, there's a lot of jitter involved, which makes sense. I mean, I'm playing on the NA server, so I expected some lags, but it was just... let's just say it did not fare very well for a character like Badal, obviously. So here like this did not work very well. That was a very lucky one, but as you can see here, delays, angles, while they are sort of predictable, they're very hard to actually fully follow through. As you can see, this one was a massive jitter here, so you get the point. Playing Badal on the NA server did not fare very well for me. So what about Goyen, I guess? Let's find out. So this is the second of the 3 games I did on the NA server, and let me be very clear, I'm an absolute garbage Goyen. I'm not good at him, and I don't really know all that much about him. And right off the bat, you will see the delay. Look at how long the impact was compared to my hit, and this is the first 2 people that I actually get to fight. I don't really want to call it fight because there's a lot of delay and stuff happening. But due to the nature of how Goyen is, I'm really gonna admit that this is the only reason I survived this, I guess, little mess at the start of the game. Because simply, Goyen has a very good kit that allows you to do, I don't want to call it comeback, because it really was just me pressing a left mouse button. And also, thank God for Shadowplay being there so I could catch this moment. But you get the idea. As I said, I'm not a very good pro-fan Goyen. I do know how his skills work, I do know his, I don't want to call it bread and butter combo, but I do know in which order I gotta press the buttons to not screw up the combo, if that makes any sense. Well, knowing that Gravedigger is on its own not really that useful unless you have a follow-up, so there's that. But yeah, this is really, as I said, the first game. I had a few better moments, we're just gonna fast forward to those here. So this was the next encounter I had with a Kunoichi or Haru, and this is the first time that I almost got deleted here. There's another Goyen here. He had very good timing here, and I was very lucky to escape. So there's that. And as I said, I probably could have fought way earlier, but I was very scared, so I was rather thinking of my, well, way back or somehow to run away. Also, there was a Shadow Lord around, which I initially wanted to get because I thought, well, let's kill the Haruga to the Shadow Lord. That unfortunately did not happen. So sneaky as I am, I thought like, well, let's just backstab this guy, right? I have all skills, I have a red item, but unfortunately I'm very bad at backstabbing, so I missed my stinger, and he did better so, and well, rightfully so, I got killed here. So this is the first of the few deaths that you will witness. Off to another encounter, which I probably would have lost on the EU server. For some reason, the distance here was off. It may have been the delay, it may have been due to the slope, that the CCs may have not worked as intended. So yeah, by the way, for Goyens, I think Schultz is very scary, because he can ignore most of the super armor. And I did play a little bit, well, I wouldn't call it cheesy, but I did had to do some running away here and there. So I really thought I'm gonna be dead here, but luckily for me, Goyen and his innate HP recovery is just so... This is the thing I really like about Goyen. You can turn around fights quite easily. And I still whiff left and right here, so that was very scary. And if I wouldn't have timed that one right, which probably was a lag issue, then this would have very easily resulted in my death. On to the last part of the first round. I got a Shadow Lord kill, so this is my second red piece of equipment. So I was on a really good road, and that Haru, you know, having a little bit better gear, you see the damage I did deal. But hello! Look at who's here, Goyen. And this time we're not in the grace period, so, well, first round's over. On to the third and last round. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing some cuts or maybe show you the whole game simply because, well, it's the last piece of actual footage, if that makes any sense. We will be getting anytime soon compared to, well, the early access. And the first encounter I did have with a Sork. Luckily, early game, nobody really has any skills. First whiff here of my running attack, but luckily I did manage to get the kill here. And there's, well, little to say here. As I said, I'm not a very proficient Goyen, and Yeonhwa is, I think, also very scary due to her fast attack speed, since she mostly cancels almost all of your abilities or things like this. It can be very scary, and I really thought I'm gonna be dead here again. But I guess he stuck around for a little bit longer than he should have been. And you can see here the fact that, well, yeah, delays happen, mispositioning, misplacement is a very common theme on the NA server. But we play Goyen for exactly that reason, so we have a wide arc of moves. Despite his pulverizer or stinger or whatever you want to call it, not having, you know, such a huge hitbox, it still is. In terms of the other skills, he has nice AoE around it, and his auto attacks have a very wide arc, unlike Badal's, just punching, obviously. But yeah, you get the idea. This one is, I think, really good in terms of lag independency, if that is a thing. So yeah, as I said, we're just gonna go over the whole footage here. We do have some notable moments here as well. So this one, I guess, either people didn't know or a lot of people played the game here that never played the game before. So, I mean, that encounter was just, I'm not sure why she went for it. I mean, maybe she thought I'm a new player. Maybe he. Maybe, you know, you never really know what exactly is it that people want to look for. I mean, I didn't really have that good gear, so played right. There probably was a chance to get me killed. Maybe. But hey. This is how it really is. That was one of the worst spikes I had. And I had like a good 30-second, I don't want to call it timeout, but this is something we'll be going over later in this video. And another fight here, as I said, I'm sort of learning to interpret. I sort of learned to interpret the delay and lag and the implications that one had. Similar, I guess it helps me a lot that I played C9 where lag played out similarly. That even though there might be jitter, in reality, more often than not, the player is actually where you expect them to be. Not necessarily where you see them, but where you expect them to be. And not sure if you caught that, but due to this reason, I guess I got the other kill because I actually knew where the player was despite having, you know, not a visual clue. This guy here I could have killed. I just should have used one instead. And I tried doing the, well, yeet. I don't even want to call it yeet attack. But for some reason, he did manage to get me, or I did manage to catch up, and there's another Schultz. However, I did have some skills here. I did not have that much gear compared to the other fight, but luckily this Schultz didn't have that much gear either, so he didn't really bug me that hard in terms of damage, and you can see the damage I'm dealing to him, and he's instantly regretting his decision, wanting to run away, which makes sense. I mean, if you're wailing at someone and doing like a combo, and you're not dealing any damage, well, you're probably better off just not dealing with the fight right now. I'm not sure why he, well, kind of ran that direction, but generally, this is something a lot of people, I think, don't really understand in this game. Also, on the side note, Goyen is super good at clearing these runes golems. When I think about, whenever I killed them as Badal, that shit was annoying. Like, it really was annoying to kill the runes golems. And with Goyen, it's so very relaxing. But hey, for some reason he decided to come back here. I ignored his Q with my super armor and he ran back, so I just used the follow-up move. I guess this is sort of it wasn't bad in terms of my Goyen skills. As I said, I do know how the skills work, so I knew that I could cheese or kind of block his Q stun with my Gravedigger. And knowing that there's a follow-up move that also has to see, in this situation kind of saved my ass. But really, this is as far as my Goyen knowledge goes. There's vastly better Goyens than I am, most notably for use Cow. Unfortunately, I only had one encounter, which was really sad. But yeah, I mean, we're more or less going to be seeing who's good at what class or hero once the game goes live. So it's really too early to make, pardon me, tier lists that are, or tier lists are okay, I think. The main thing is right now, we don't really have, we have a bunch of representatives, at least on EU, for almost every character. I think we don't really have a set out Orwen and Schultz. But the other classes usually have like at least one or two people that you would think like, well, he's probably one of the better players in this class. But this is very, very volatile, and this will change probably very fast once we get to early access. But we have yet to see that. Yeah, anyways, rambling on. As you can see here, we did get some decent kills, and I was like feeling, well, my gear's not that great, but not that bad either. I mean, having full blue in this state of the game it's not bad. I could have more, but it's not bad. I got 6 kills at least, so I'm definitely up ahead the curve in terms of XP. As you can see here, 2 skills maxed already. So yeah, we're going, or I deliberately looked for fights, and this was a very, very bad mistake here by me. I'm not sure why I thought it's a good idea to press this button, and especially since there was people fighting at the Shadow Lord, and I really was like, well, dude, you just blew the chance to get the buff and the gear. So that was a very, very bad mistake on my part, but I thought like, well, he has blue gear, you know, might as well try and do it. And then he got the kill. That was really bad, so I stole some items since I guess he didn't know that once you get the kill you have a buff for about a couple seconds that pretty much allows you to negate almost everything, but he was very persistent. So this was a very scary moment for me. Panic blinked out. So this is, I think, where one of the best steals in this whole round came in. I think it's kind of nasty, and I was really, really lucky. I do want to stress this and focus on this again. I had incredible timing luck here. Some of it was skill based, but I think more of this round was certainly just luck and decent positioning in terms of how I got kills. So I was like thinking about it, right? I used my Q. I knew she didn't use her Q yet in my fight, so she probably had the Q up. Now the Goyen used the Q, and I was like, well, it's now or never, and boom. This was such a nasty interrupt for their fight. I'm not sure if they didn't see me or if the Yanhua thought I'm not a threat, because I did not really, you know, I didn't really deal a considerable amount of damage to her in the fight before. But this was the moment where I was like, dude, you got the skills, or like the XP, you get very alright gear after these 2 kills. Let's go for it. And yeah, this is the moment where I knew that I could potentially even win this game unless I did a major screw up somewhere. So I was really looking for kills, which really isn't easy when you're playing on the NA server, truth be told. But that's just how it is. I'm really not sure if I should have hit that pulverizer, but as I said, being ahead of the gear curve, I was very comfortable picking fights, and that was really lucky that he decided to. He probably didn't have any cooldowns, but if he used any other move than his jump, he probably would have either gotten away or at least knocked me down. But hey, we got that one, and we got some more pests coming, but as I said, I'm really good in terms of gear. I'm not sure why that one didn't stagger her, but at least I blocked her Q. So there's that. And generally, as I said, I was in a really, really good position. I'm not sure what her goal was here, really. I don't know. And we get another kill. 10 kills, which, is alright in itself, right? And then there's another... I'm not sure what he was... even if he were to knock me down with a spear, I don't really know what his plan was there. Grabbing some more buffs because, well, we're very good in terms of gear. More buffs never hurt, especially the defensive one. I think this is something a lot of people overlook in Shadowrain in general, but this is something I'll talk about in a future video. Buffs in general, a lot of people don't probably know how buffs work or that they exist, but most of them probably don't pay attention to them either. And this guy, as you can see, the damage I dealt to this guy was just massive. And I kind of whiffed this kill again. I should have just used any of the other moves, really. I would have gotten the kill right there on the spot, but I didn't for some reason. As I said, this is what I meant with I know how Goyen works, I just never learned him. And what I mean by that is I do know what the skills do and sort of the order of things, but that doesn't mean you're comfortable with it. That doesn't mean you know when to do what and stuff like this. I still got him because people, for some reason, liked to stay around me, but hey. So yeah, but really the importance of buffs is really crucial, I think, especially when you're fighting people that are good. Buffs are majorly important. And this is, I'm not exactly sure, this is where I started to see some jitter. And let's take a look at the clock. So I'll probably revert it back in the video. And I thought I would get a disconnect. I was really upset during this time. Unfortunately, it was no live commentary because I only used shadow playing, but I was really upset about this happening here because I thought I got a disconnect. Nothing reacted. This guy ran into the wall. Even hitting goblins or anything didn't really do anything. This is like the classic DC you have in other games. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, it wasn't a DC. It wasn't a disconnect. I just ran about here, I think. There we go. I got hit by something. There were kills happening, and then yeah, this is where we are here. And we're finally back. It's like, okay, we still have a reasonable chance to win this game, right? Well, let's just go for it. Probably could have killed this guy here either, but I was a little too hesitant. As I said, just going with my inability or inexperience with the game. So this was the last, I think, scary encounter. So we, how should I put this? I kind of whiffed the one move here, so technically he was dead already. And I probably could have done this one either, but you get the theme here. I'm not very good at kill securing, I'm not very good in general. So this guy decided to run away instead of fighting me, so this is where we got him. And as you can see, gear-wise, we're almost full red. So I was like very sure that there's not going to be a whole lot of threats to be dealt with here. And I got this guy here, and the other guy was like, hey, he's spinning, let's just see. I wanted to secure the gear, and he still wanted to pick the fight with me, which was very lucky for me. I was like, alright, I'll do it. And boom. No kill here. I was like, alright, I'll take it. Not like I really needed the gear. I should have chased, rather. And seeing that there was just a kill, I was like, okay, maximum kills, we were going to be getting our 15. So I'm still not sure why what Will's plan was. Okay. Got the kill here. And then we're up to the final match. So as you can see, I had a few notable moments here, which I really like, and now we're full red. So I was like, okay, I don't have my Q up. I do have a musket. I do have some potions. I saw this guy here. I just really did want to win. Like, seriously. I did want to win this one. So I sat there and was like, alright, maybe we'll cheese it and see how it goes. I used the musket because I thought he's going to go over the wall. Unfortunately, he didn't. I had a cooldown there. But unfortunately for him, gear wasn't really an issue for me. I mean, he had yellow gear, so it wasn't really that bad. But as you can see, I still deal loads more damage than he is able to tank. And there we go. We spin to win. Spin to one. Spin to one? Is that a thing? We spin to one our way to place one on the NA. So yeah, this is it really. As I said, this was done on the NA server that was still up because they did some tests for the early access. This was not an official test. I'm not a good Goyen player. I just used Goyen because Badal, like, whoa, that was a voice crack. Because Badal at the, you saw it early on. Badal did not work out very well. So I tried Goyen and it worked out. So this is it. As I said, this is going to be the final gameplay footage of Shadow Arena until we get to early access. I will probably do one more video talking about... What's with my voice? Wow. I will probably do one more video talking about early access, things we learned so far, and things to look forward to. As far as the rest really goes, I hope you guys still enjoyed this fight, and sorry for everybody on NA that I may have killed or caused some lags here. That was not my intention, but I just wanted to play the game, so there's that. And hopefully I will see you guys next time, so have a good one, and see ya.